I'm Todd from Mitchell Creative Group, and I want to share with you 50 creative projects you didn't know you need. These are all projects that I have worked on over the years, and they're all things I think you'd benefit from. If anything, I want you to watch this and just get general ideas of all the different things you can get done nowadays for your product, service, or business. Let's get started. Project number one would be A-frame signs. I mean, how many of you have stores and you want to put your A-frame signs in front of your stores? They're actually very cost effective. You know, we can create wooden ones, plastic ones, and all kinds of composite materials. So these are A-frame signs. Next in line, we'd have acrylic boards. These are great for weddings and special events, but certainly work very nicely in retail stores and operations too. And again, they can be very cost effective. They don't have to cost that much to do. Next up, we have aluminum boards. Just like acrylic boards, these can be used in retail, but certainly businesses. A lot of times I create these signs for businesses, you know, outside of doors, you know, as you see here, you know, Suite 605. You can do all kinds of aluminum boards in different shapes and sizes as well, and they are not outrageously expensive. Next up, we have booklets. Creating booklets is very, very straightforward nowadays. With direct-to-digital printing, we kind of rule out the really expensive offset printing techniques usually used with booklets. So don't be afraid to create a booklet for your business, your product, or your service. People still love booklets. I mean, we still ship out catalogs and brochures and booklets all the time. Next up, we have bookmarks. Bookmarks are an awesome leave behind. These things are excellent, and I actually do quite a bit of these. They're very, very cost effective. They're very inexpensive to create, and you know, they're great to give away. They're great to have. You could put a QR code on there with your business. You could put your product, service, deliverable, hand it out. They're better than business cards because people actually use them. They stick them in their books. They hang on to them. They magnet themselves to the fridge. Next up, we have brochures. I mean, we can create all kinds of brochures. I mean, brochures of all shapes and sizes. These are still very effective, especially when you're meeting up with customers and you want to hand them a brochure. They're simple to create. Next up, we have business cards. Think differently when you come up with business cards because, you know, your standalone business cards are, you know, kind of so-so. We want to try to think differently so people hold on to your business card and it kind of captures who you are. Nowadays, I tell people just put a QR code on the back of your business card. Gets them right to your website. Next up, we have calendars. A little late in the year to create a calendar, but it's a great time to start planning actually now for next year or putting together content for your calendar. You know, this is something I talk to customers about right now. We start talking about this. What kind of calendar? I have a good friend of mine who creates his own calendars by taking beautiful pictures of Cape Cod and does quite well with those. They're beautiful, beautiful calendars. Those are excellent deliverables. Next up, we have car magnets. Car magnets are excellent for any business. You can create all kinds of shapes and sizes, slap them on the side of your car. We have cardboard squares. Again, signage to put up in your business. Very cost effective, not that hard to do, but it makes your office look very professional. And you can also do it for fun too. I've also done a bunch of these myself, like pictures of my kids, grandkids, special events, 50, 60, 70-year-old parties, etc., etc. Clothing. Now it's more, oh man, it's so easy nowadays to create clothing. Way easier than it used to be to put your logo or create your own brand of clothing. That's something I can help you with. Next up, we have coasters. These are great handaways or handouts for shows. I mean, when you're walking around the show, people stop by your booth, you're handing out your coasters. These are, again, everything I'm showing you is cost effective. Coming up with ways to get these things to you quicker, sooner, faster, better, cheaper. Next up, we have collector's cards. These are awesome, especially if you're a sports enthusiast, but we can have some fun with these. But just think of a collector's cards or a deck of cards created any way you want. These make awesome handouts, and people really retain these, so we can have some fun creating a really cool collector card. Next idea would be concert tickets. And although I create a lot of concert tickets for concert people or, rock venues and show venues and things, right, for local show places, but you can think outside the box creatively and create some fun fake concert tickets. So let's say you have a Zoom conference online and you want to come up with a cool way to do it. You create a concert look and feel and give out concert tickets to go to your Zoom class or Zoom event. Next up, we have custom folders. So don't feel like you have to do your standard folder, your standard 9x12 boring folder. You can get rounded edges, you can get soft touch aqueous coating, and different techniques to make it stand out and get attention than your competition. Next up, we have event flyers. Event flyers, very, very cost effective. We design these all the time. I've created so many event flyers. And again, if you want to reach out and contact me to create any of these things, please do. But event flyers can be very, very popular to promote your event. Handing them out, pinning them up as poster boards or whatever. Event tickets, same thing as over here, but these are actual event tickets. We can actually number them and, literally get them ready for events to hand out. So these are event tickets. Floor decals. These are very popular for events, but also in buildings too. You might in your building, for example, say this way to your podcasting booth or where your bathrooms are, or you want to do some fun event stuff, putting stuff on the rugs in your events. You can do that at your trade show. Next up, we have standard folders. I mentioned before, don't do boring standard folders, right? But sometimes you need to. Sometimes you need just a simple, cost-effective solution with a 4-inch pocket. We can do those together as well. Greeting cards. When it comes time for holidays, I tell people to start early. Start doing this early, where you create your own greeting cards. Maybe you have a special event or a loved one passed away and you want to create some special cards for somebody, or maybe you have a special office event that you want to create. We can create custom greeting cards to make it really unique and special. Hanging cardboards. These are great for stores, obviously, and retail signs. I have a couple of retail customers I work with where, creating signs, again, very cost effective. They don't have to cost an outrageous amount of money to come up with hanging cardboards. Hanging vinyl banners. That's another one that's great for events, for trade shows, and for stores, for retail, even in your office space. Sometimes it's great to promote an award or some kind of accomplishment, but certainly to promote your business. And again, very cost effective. Next up, we have labels. Creating stickers and labels can get kind of pricey out there. There's a lot of competition out there, but it doesn't have to be. So what I do is I meet with you and talk to you about what you need and give you some different ideas. But roll labels are a great way to get a lot of stickers for a pretty reasonable cost. Next up, we have large banners, which is very similar to the hanging vinyl banners, but in this case here, they'd be horizontal. So like you see here with baseball training camp, or you want to promote something outside, hang it up on your building, we can create those together. Large posters, large format posters in a multitude of sizes. I have created several of these for local retail stores as well, but they can be done for so many different things. And again, they're not outrageously priced. Large roll labels, just like before what I was telling you. You can actually create large ones. So if you want to start your own coffee company or do your own packaging, you have these large roll labels that you can do. And they can be very cost effective as well to make your own products. If you've ever dreamed of doing something, let's get that sucker going. Let's get that project going. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money and take a lot of time to do. Next up, we have mailers. Mailers are still very popular. I do a lot of mailers, and they don't have to be standard like this, although these are very popular for realtors and such, just sending out mailers. We do a lot of these, but we can do really custom versions of them with fancy colors and fifth colors and rounded edges and special varnishes and different things like that. So those are mailers. Mugs, very easy to do nowadays, to put mugs together with your logo or your branding or your website on there. A lot of fun stuff we can do with mugs. We have notepads we can create, very easy. Pocket folders, I talked earlier about standard pocket folders, but this way here we can come up with all kinds of crazy pockets and different ways of putting those together. Postcards, much like mailers, but we can be fun and creative with them and do a whole plethora of designs for postcards. Whether you have a special event like a wedding like this or some kind of business event or something, they make great handouts. Poster boards, mentioned those a little bit earlier, like the different signage and such, but poster boards can come in all different sizes. I mean, think huge or think small. And they come on different type of substrates too, whether it's foam core or gator board. There's a whole variety of poster boards depending on what you need. Then there's posters. I mentioned before the rollout posters. You can create small posters too, like even 8.5 by 11 posters. You can create 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 of these things if you want to, and they're very cost effective as well. Printed wall art. If you've ever dreamed of having one of your, like you see here, your favorite pet, or maybe you have somebody, like I have a daughter who does custom artwork to do printed wall art that you can sell or just have up on your wall. It comes out very, very nice, very beautiful, and it's, again, not terribly expensive. Next up, we have puzzles. You can take artwork and create puzzles. These are great giveaways, especially for businesses where you want to come up with something kind of fun and creative, or maybe you have a favorite picture like this one here of a loved one you want to put on a puzzle and give away as a gift for people. You print, let's say, 20 of these and give them to your family and friends to make an awesome gift. Retractable banners. These are very popular, and I don't think enough people take advantage of this, but basically they retract. They go right down into that base that you see there, and they pull up on a little metal stick, and you pop them up at an event and rave about your business, your product, or your service. They can be very effective. Same with the larger retractable signs. You got the smaller desktop, and you got the larger ones that can go up as high as 8 feet. You can go 3.5 feet wide. I mean, they come in all different shapes and sizes, but retractable signs are very effective. Next up, we have roll labels, which I mentioned before, but I just want to show you the variety, the different weights, you could have gloss, non-gloss, rounded edges. I mean, there's so many things you can do with roll labels. Rounded business cards, I mentioned earlier, where you don't want to do your standard business card. Just by adding a little rounded edge on one side can really make you stand apart from your competition. Simple brochure, these are very popular. They're just simple little standard folded brochures. They come in all different shapes and sizes. We can make them as small as business card size all the way up to your standard 6x9 folded in half like this. And there are just so many different shapes and sizes we can create for a simple brochure. You can create a staggered brochure. These are great. This is a great combination with a pocket folder, as you see in the background here, where you actually stagger them. This is great especially for real estate, for businesses with different deliverables, and it's a very cost-effective option for coming up with something cool, depending on how we design it. So like you see here, though, you can create your corporate branding and identity on them, use all your corporate colors, so forth and so on. So those are staggered flyers. Stickers, there's just a plethora of stickers you can do. You can literally, if you ever dreamed of creating some kind of a cool smoothie or a product to create stickers, there are different types of stickers you can create for the products you're creating. Some, for example, don't do well in refrigerated environments, where some do. So we have to be careful when we create stickers, but again, cost effective. They're very easy to make. Trifold brochure, just like the other standard brochure, you can make your classic trifold brochure. Those are very, very handy for handouts. Vertical flyers, I mentioned before the flyers, but you can do vertical, horizontal, folded, but most flyers, we can do them in gloss or non-gloss. If you want to write on them, you do non-gloss, but flyers are very, very inexpensive. I mentioned wall canvas prints. You can do a multitude of sizes like you see here in the backdrop, just putting art on a canvas. Create your own art. You don't have to go buy art somewhere else. Just create your own. It actually can be very cost effective. Window clings, these are very popular, but you can think outside the box when it comes to window clings and put your product on your window for a variety of reasons. Right? You can, same with the window displays. You can do large posters like this if you want to start promoting your shoes here or whatever you want to promote. It's like a vinyl material that basically you squeegee on the back of your glass, and you can actually peel it up. It does great in the sun. It doesn't fade easily, that type of thing. Same with yard signs. These can be very effective, especially if you want somebody to stop by your coffee shop or bake sale or whatever. Yard signs can be very popular and very useful. And then finally, I would say the 50th project I'm going to list here in this video would be the media kit. You know, the media kit, this is a larger scale project and it can cost quite a bit, but not as much as you think. You know, that's what I like to do, is meet with you and discuss with you what you need. We go over different ideas and different budgets and come up with real creative solutions. But media kits are still very effective. So if you're going to meet with a really high-end client or a potential lead, let's say, and you hand them a media kit, that can really help you generate business and make you look sharp. So those are the top 50 things or creative projects I think you didn't know you need. Hopefully you got some good ideas. I encourage you, please, to reach out and contact me anytime. Go to my website, mitchellcreativegroup.com, or you can email me directly at todd@mitchellcreativegroup.com. I really strive to make excellent creative solutions easy for you. Okay, I make it simple, I make it quick, and I make it affordable. I've been doing this a long time and I love doing it, and I would love to help you and work with you on your next project. So please reach out. If not, then I hope you got some good ideas out of this.